And so I hope that they stick around in some capacity with the new Pac-12, given the Pac-12 Networks is still going to be a production arm of the Pac-12 Conference. But yeah, I really do feel sad that this was such a missed opportunity. And now we see the ramifications of that missed opportunity. But I feel like the people who work at Pac-12 Networks, the people who've devoted themselves for the last 12 years to telling the stories of the Pac-12 athletes, to get behind the scenes, to seemingly be invested in every game they were covering.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're collateral damage in all of this, and that's their careers. It's not just their fandom. That's their careers.
Right. And a lot of them are fans of one school or another that are in the Pac-12. So there's that plus their careers. You're right. I just hope that it does stick around in some capacity. I know Oregon State and Washington State are trying to use it as leverage to either continue the Pac-12 or join another conference and bring that with them. I just hope that if it does continue and truly continue as an entity, that they maybe go back to their original philosophy and lean in on the Silicon Valley aspect of it. And you were talking about the technology being second to none. There's so much new technology coming out right now. I just think like that would be such a smart move to sort of revisit that initial philosophy of partnering up with some of these bigger tech companies.
Yep, I agree. Speaking of partnering up, speaking of somebody that was a now really lifetime partner of the Pac-10, Pac-12, we sadly had to bid farewell. This morning we heard the news. I think all of us at Belligerent Beavs felt a strong sense of sadness about this news. But the late, great Bill Walton has passed away after a battle with cancer. He was 71 years old, and he was a mainstay with the Pac-12 Network for a long time. He's been a mainstay for being the biggest cheerleader for the Pac-12 Conference.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gone. And sad. Yeah. It's a sad world to be in. Beyond his affiliation, I think, with the conference that we love, that he loved, but also that he was just a one-of-a-kind human being. And I think people had their own mixed feelings of how much they enjoyed his rants or his quirks or his political views or his local municipal views. Like, it's okay to have a mixed feeling about the human, but the greater body of work of his life, he is going to be a massive loss in so many regards beyond just college athletics. So I just want to say that I think that Bill Walton is and was the one person that I constantly thought about with the Pac-12 breaking up.
Yes.
And I wondered very consistently, how does he feel about this news, this announcement, this deflection? And I'm in a silver lining kind of, I don't know, twisted way. I'm glad he doesn't have to live to see it, because I don't think this would be something that he would have stomached, because this was his love. Yeah. This conference was his love. So
yeah,
big loss. Yeah. And I know, Benny, for you in Blazers lore as well. I mean,
brought us only championship.
Yeah. He was the guy to deliver. I mean, I've heard about Bill Walton for my whole life, and not just because I was not a Blazers fan. I didn't grow up in the Northwest. My parents went to UCLA. My dad reminded me today that at one time at the San Francisco Saloon in Santa Monica in about 1979, 1980, my mom and dad shared a beer with Bill and several other ex-UCLA players at the San Francisco Saloon. They got to meet him. Also found out that my brother-in-law's dad, shout out Gary, he went on a double date with Bill Walton once.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So I never asked for these, but JP, please play 5 seconds of Box of Rain by the Grateful Dead for one of the biggest deadheads out there that I've ever heard of.
There you go. Love it.
Not only did Bill Walton was he a champion for, or he championed the Pac-12, the Pac-10 and the Pac-12, and really was just like, I don't know if there was another person out there that was as much of an advocate for a conference as he was for the Pac-12 well before all the split up started to happen. But I don't know if you probably do, given the UCLA tie, but he had a huge problem with being able to like speak coherently and be able to have the confidence to speak, especially to like the press. And he was talking to, I think it was a therapist of some sort, and the therapist gave him the advice, something to the effect of just say what's ever on your mind, like stop second guessing what you're going to say and how it might offend or hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, like just say what's on your mind. And man, did he take that advice. Like
yeah.
But I really feel like it allowed him to live his best life. Like he seemed to do what he wanted in the way he wanted, and had a great time doing it. So while we do and will miss him, I think that he probably lived the life that he wanted to live. And that is something that, I think we can all be really happy about.
Yep. And I think just the fact that, he was constantly being himself,
Mm-hmm.
I think he opened up a lot of people's attention and eyes to viewing sports beyond the competition, viewing a competition beyond an outcome, and really trying to understand, at least look at and hear out the perspective of there's something bigger and better and greater happening right now beyond this basketball game and going on in front of us. And whether it was talking about the cities he was in or the communities or stories or anecdotes, it made everything feel so much bigger than a bucket that was just scored.
Yeah.
And I think he had a great way of helping you see the bigger picture of life, especially through sports and especially through our conference. And he was a big advocate for Oregon State. He was a big advocate for Corvallis.
Yep.
Huge. One of the quotes that I loved. I remember him saying this, and he did have a tendency to recycle some of his thoughts on TV. And so you'd hear a few of his quotes or phrases time and time and again, but that was part of the charm. That was part of what I at least loved tuning into any Bill Walton called game. But, one of them is the quote, every trip to Corvallis is a journey back in time where the values of tradition and loyalty are still held in high regard.